Hi Taurus, this is your forecast for the month of June 2017. This is a general reading for Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising, or Taurus Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. You can watch your reading in 3 different ways: the full extended monthly, or for just the energy influence, watch the brief. Or if you prefer, watch the weekly for the upcoming week. Weeklies also make it easy for you to review information you may have forgotten in the full reading. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, and I invite you to follow me on Facebook, Google+, and Instagram. Please also check out my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/on-demand/finding-love for monthly love readings. So Taurus, this is a week where you are moving on. And you're moving on from things that have let you down in the past, things that don't work for you emotionally, and that could run the gamut of anything. Projects that you don't believe in anymore, people that waste your time, situations where you don't feel fulfilled. You want to get past that. You're looking for something. You're looking for something better, and anything that's unsatisfactory to you, you don't want that to be a part of your consciousness anymore. So this could be a week where something is on the decline. Some of you, maybe you're grappling with abandonment issues. Maybe you feel abandoned in some way, but there's a sense of being tired. You have had it, and you're looking for some deeper meaning in your connections and in your situations, and there's a turning point. You don't even care perhaps where you're headed. You just need to get away from the past, a situation that you weren't pleased about, that left you feeling empty and disappointed. Now, for some of you, again, you're cutting ties with some emotionally dependent people, some cloying personalities, people that drain you, emotional and psychic vampires. You're turning your back on a difficult situation, and you're letting go of a lifestyle that you don't feel works for you anymore. You want something better, and you want to put your energy toward new interests. So that could mean any number of things. Maybe you leave home. Maybe you're looking for a new relationship. Maybe you're changing your job. Maybe you're expecting some changes that are going to come in about a month for you. For some of you, maybe this is, connected to travel in some way. And it could be literally you're doing a whole lot of walking this week. Whatever it is, you're doing some house cleaning emotionally. And you're looking at a situation with greater reality. And that's going to give you the opportunity to gain some inner balance, to have a clarity of purpose. You know what you want, and you know what doesn't fit into that plan anymore. And you're now ready and willing to leave that behind. In fact, you want to take charge. You want to make your decisions. You want to blaze a trail for yourself and shift direction. So anything that has been, keeping you chained, holding you down, making you feel stagnant, keeping you from being your best and highest self and making progress, you're going to change course. And some of you are going to find that maybe you thought you were going to meet with some resistance or some obstacles, and you're going to be pleasantly surprised that simply because you've made this shift, this inner emotional paradigm shift, that things flow easier than you had even expected. Maybe you're trying to save something or salvage something, or take authority over something, or even if necessary, as I said, walk away from something, from habits that don't work, from people that don't work in your life, for situations that aren't meant for you anymore. And so this could be a week where you're moving toward wisdom. You're opening yourself up to something, higher truths, your higher self, some knowledge, in order to gain some inner peace. Some of you, though, are grappling with your disappointment and you don't know where you're headed, and that's a problem. There's still some work that you need to do, and you may be seeking some spiritual guidance in order to determine what it is that you truly want. Who are you in this moment in time? Others of you, you've gotten some truths and you don't know what to do with this truth. And you're having to isolate yourself from others, to close that door, to get with self. Maybe you're being really hard on yourself, being very critical. Maybe you're making things difficult for yourself because you're in search of a truth, or you're working on the truth of a situation that is really overwhelming. It's more challenging than you had anticipated, and you need to call on a higher power in order to get you through. Now, the second week, you're dealing with air energy. This could be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this king is necessary for this week and the events of this week. Whatever it is, you're likely to be setting some new wheels in motion, or maybe dealing with an ongoing situation, the goal of which is to handle things more effectively, either to try to gain some type of upper hand in a situation or to protect yourself in some way, trying to build some kind of solid defense for yourself. So this is a week about taking authority, taking command of a situation, and doing that by not letting that disappointment that you had last week get in the way. This is about being rational, perhaps getting some advice. Maybe you're seeking advice from somebody who has some kind of special information, a specialist of some sort. It could be a lawyer, it could be a doctor, somebody with some type of title that can offer you some assistance. Could be somebody that is acting in your best interest, acting in your defense, trying to protect your interests, being aggressive in doing so. But this is a week where, you're dealing with what is fair, what is just, and in fact, you may be involved in the legal system in some way, arbitration, dealing with a judge. Some of you, this is about business, and maybe you're connecting with somebody who is professional, maybe an executive. Now, hopefully, hopefully you're not involved in an abusive or toxic situation where you're needing to call on the police or somebody for protection. Some of you are disappointed and you're walking away, and thank goodness, from somebody who is aggressive, maybe an aggressive boyfriend, somebody who is overpowering you. In the positive, this is somebody who is willing to fight for you. But in the negative, this is somebody who's fighting against you. Whatever the case, you could very well decide this week, because you want to make your own decisions, you don't want any limitations, any restrictions imposed upon you. You want to do things your way. And you want to be your own person, and you resent any interference otherwise. For some of you, you're suffering from some emotional disappointment because you fear intimacy and getting close to another person, or you're involved with somebody who's like that. So this is about using the rational mind and your intellect to gain strength, to be powerful, to build up your self-esteem, and you may be fearlessly taking some action. For others of you, this is about pulling back out of the emotional turmoil of last week and recognizing that you need to gain some balance and you need to be more grounded in your efforts. Maybe you're very determined to make something happen, and yet there's some resistance to making that move. And so for you, this is a call to take some kind of action. There's a reluctance on your part or the part of someone else to move forward, to do something. Maybe you're connecting with people and it looks like things are going somewhere, there's some progress being made, and lo and behold, that movement is very short-lived. Or some of you are involved in very challenging situations where somebody's saying one thing and yet they're doing something else. So this is about getting clear on your intent. If your desire and your intent is one thing, then your actions and your motivation needs to line up with that this week. So this is about, getting in a position of authority or connecting with somebody who is in authority. This can be a very intellectually stimulating week. You may be dealing with people who are aggressive, who are jealous, who are not particularly sensitive. Maybe you're having a difficult time of letting go. And some of you, last week, there's some emotional disappointment again that center around issues of intimacy where you can't seem to relax. Maybe you want to connect to another person. Maybe you need that, but you just don't know how to go about it. There's a problem with it. You want to relax, you want to have intimacy, but you can't let go somehow. This is somebody that's typically in their head. They may have feeling, but they don't. Expressing that is not their forte. And in fact, sometimes they can come off as sharp or sarcastic. So again, this is about either using your authority, your force, your assertion, your will, your intellect to move forward, to protect your interest, or finding someone who will, or facing somebody who is antagonistic and working against your better interests. Now, the third week you have the Strength card. So this is a major week for you. And again, this focus on personal power, empowering yourself in some way, being self-reliant, claiming your strength, acting on your convictions to move forward. And not necessarily with aggression. This could be a week where you decide to pull back. Maybe you've made some decisions, or maybe you were dealing with some aggression and you've decided to change course. You want to gently influence the direction of a situation. For some of you, if you were dealing with someone medical last week, this could be about literal strength. There could be issues of frailty, weakness, sick people, issues of dependency. If this was a romantic situation, this could be about being dominated by your animal passions, or being balanced and having good judgment in order to maintain a balance over your passion. Being comfortable with yourself, your sensuality, your magnetism, your charm, your personal power. Whatever it is, this is going to be a week where maybe you got some information or some advice. Or maybe you were dealing with some type of conflict. This is a week where it could be necessary for you to step back, for you to take a time out, to think over some things in order to regain your composure, to reaffirm your peace of mind, to find your direction, and to gain your confidence. If you were dealing with somebody that was aggressive, or maybe you were dealing with a legal issue of some sort, maybe you're having some doubts, and that doubt is threatening your confidence, your peace of mind. Maybe it's making you lash out at others and take that anger and frustration out on somebody who really doesn't deserve it. Whatever it is, this is a week to get calm and centered, because your emotional state is starting to wear on your physical health. So you may have to step back. Maybe there's something you have to let go of. Maybe the decision last week was to cut something out of your life, hence the moving on in the first week. And you're having to realize that it may be harder trying to hold on to something. It may be better just to go back to the drawing board and start all over, as daunting as that may seem. Now, this is about, again, relying on that inner conviction. If you have used the strengths of this card, leadership, generosity, inspiration, steadfastness, loyalty, devotion, being a friend, being creative, following your passion, then in spite of whatever is taking place, you've done what was the right thing to do and the best thing for you, and you're going to be rewarded on some level for that. This is a week to trust yourself, not to fall back on fear. Your intuition is uncannily on mark this week. So taking a step back from a situation, however challenging it may seem, may be the very thing you need to do, that in that quiet moment, even if you weren't looking for an answer, a solution is going to knock on your door and come to you. So this is about, for some of you, there's something going on. Maybe the King of Swords is trying to get to the bottom of something. He's trying to find some truth, because this could be a week where secrets are important. The strength of a secret, something that you're not seeing, that's necessary for you to step back. And again, that solution, that answer is going to come to you. For some of you, there's something that you're hiding, or you're coming back to something. You're stirring up the past, and it may be necessary for something to come to light. So this is a week for you to have fortitude, to call on the strengths of the King of Swords and the strength of this card to move forward, to face your fear, whether that's a failure, losing, being rejected, being intimidated, whatever it is. This is for you to empower yourself by belief in self. Because if not, one more time, you're going to end up emotionally disappointed. You're not going to get what you deserve. You're not going to honor yourself if you don't believe in yourself. And to get what you deserve, you have to have faith that you deserve it. This is also about having the strength to be a leader. And being a leader means you recognize that your life is your own, and ultimately the buck stops with you. And so this is not a week for you to finger point, to blame other people, or to not face truths or close yourself off to truths. If you're holding on to something, whether that be fear or a situation because it didn't go right in the past, then you're going to block yourself from your future, something that could be very productive, that could actually give you some strength. So this is a week for you to keep moving forward. Now, the last week you have Page of Swords. So this is some new energy related to thinking or communication. Now, maybe you're trying to figure something out, or you're trying to find something out. Maybe there's some spying taking place, some stalking, some surveillance, or it could just be that there is a lot of mental activity this week. Some of you are dealing with somebody who is immature or irresponsible, and they're having an impact on your life, perhaps in a very unexpected way. It could be that you're dealing with somebody who is calculating, who's devious, who's not really concerned with your feelings or anybody else. So, somebody either maybe is the hunter or they're the victim. Now, for some of you, this is about some mental activity. Maybe you're learning something. Maybe you're working something out. Maybe you're coming up with some ideas. For some of you, maybe you're even traveling. This is about the effective use of communication. Some of you are trying to resolve some kind of dispute, and you're trying to do that rationally, objectively, dispassionately. Maybe you're in arbitration, or maybe you're getting some professional advice. But again, communication is key this week. Now, this could just be you're trying to find out about being appreciated. Maybe you're angry, or someone else is, and it centers around getting some type of gratification. You're trying to find the joy in life, your passion, whether you feel content, whether you have enough, whether you have the abundance that you deserve and that you need. For some of you, this is desperately trying to hold on to something. So your relationships this week or situation hinges on communication, how you communicate with another person and what that dialogue is and how effective it is. And either you're coming together and having some understanding and mutual respect, or you're looking at one another and you're realizing that something is amiss and you can't go any further with it. So this is all about, for some of you, since there's a secretive element involved, it could be issues where there's a sudden attack or some plot. Something is happening that's unexpected, unforeseen. And it could be, for some of you, being impulsive, either speaking or acting out of turn without due diligence, without being prepared. But again, this could be about vigilance, protecting yourself, or either having a lack of defense. And again, this may connect to some type of illness, and the strength, gaining your strength or trying to find the strength and handling something more effectively, moving on from something. Now, the underlying energy is this King of Cups. So now we have water energy. This is Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the energy of this month is infiltrated with water energy. Some of you, maybe you're dealing with a father figure, somebody who's emotionally supportive. Again, maybe another professional, a trusted advisor. Could be somebody who's involved in the helping profession. Again, a doctor, a judge, a lawyer, business person, counselor. Somebody involved in negotiation. Maybe somebody creative. It could have to do with trying to find your passion and moving on from something that didn't give you that sense of passion. So this could be about, some venture, something creative, psychological, something emotional that you're involved in. This could be a friend, a teacher, a consultant, somebody, again, who's working in giving you some type of support, somebody who's willing to take on extra responsibility, somebody that you feel comfortable about, and someone that you trust, somebody that's going to give you assistance, protection. They have concern for you. They're giving you good advice. They're listening. Or you are doing that for someone else this month. Now, in the negative, you're dealing with manipulators, people who are presenting a false face. Maybe this is somebody who is parasitic. Maybe this is somebody who has some type of emotional problem, an addiction of some sort, an alcoholic, somebody who is not putting forth effort. They're self-indulgent and they're only looking out for themselves, and they're toying with your emotions. On the other hand, this could be somebody who's overly indulging the people around them and spoiling someone. Whatever it is, this is going to be a month of intense desire on some part, on some level. You want something very strongly, whether that's to make a good impression on someone or to create a particular environment, to improve a situation, or to keep something the way that it is because it means a lot to you. Or maybe you're trying to defend yourself in some way, or defend what you feel is rightfully yours, by offering protection. And for some of you, this is about seeking to destroy something or someone. It all depends on how you're going to play this energy this month. Now, for some of you, this is going to be a month of healing. Healing the emotions, healing the inside, healing the environment, aligning the inner with the outer. And that may mean, again, taking that time out to reaffirm your sense of purpose and regain some clarity and peace of mind. That could be by nourishing yourself, by loving yourself. And for some of you, this is about trying to find that passionate connection to another person, dealing with issues of intimacy where there are fears of connecting, where you've been disappointed in the past with your relationships and you want something better because you want to be with someone, you want to be a part of something, and you realize that you've been isolating yourself for too long. And it's going to be, in that case, easy if you put forth real effort for you to connect with another person on that level, because it's likely you're going to connect with somebody who feels the same way about you. But for others of you, you're involved in some kind of complicated situation where you're not getting satisfaction out of your relationships and you're ready to move on. So there's a focus on independence this month. Something has changed. The situation is in the moment that could change your life, or it's already changed, and it's connected to your destiny and the things and the people that are important to you and your future. So you're going to need to make a choice, and you're going to have to work really hard to overcome uncertainty about your judgment, whether you're doing the right thing, and you're going to need to be dedicated to your own cause. So you're going to have to trust in yourself. You may have to trust in other people, and both of those may be put to the test. This is the, final result in many cases of the development of the intellectual, the air element. And some choices that you've made in the past are coming home to roost. You're seeing your situation unfold because of some previous choices that you have made. And you're going to gain an understanding and a new perspective, especially if you are willing to tie up some loose ends, because you're going to be given the opportunity to address some old issues and possibly some things that you've been avoiding. And it could also center on being successful in your pursuits, gaining some type of recognition, whether it's simply appreciation or moving forward on something. So there are going to be some challenging developments, some emotional developments, and it could be some instability to your situation, or it could just be that you are working on something and there's some issues that are still in progress, some things that have not been worked out fully just yet. They're still taking form. Whatever it is, something is very important. It's important for you to be mindful of the details, hence this King of Swords, making sure that you're rational, that you're going over everything, that you're looking over things carefully, and paying attention to that detail. And also, timing is critical for you. And the timing could very well tie into the strength to walk away, to move towards something that is important and more meaningful to you. This is likely to center around your partnerships, or perhaps some contract that could be very profitable for you, some type of deal, or it could be you're having some conflict over opinions, ideas, feelings. You have the King of Swords and the King of Cups, which is very different energy. This is taking or doing what's safe versus taking a risk, working with our intellect, our mind, versus working with what's in our heart. And what has the greater strength? Where is the balance? Maybe trying to find that balance. And so, despite the fact that some things may go off the rails, you're going to be able to find that strength to remain level-headed in your approach. It's going to be your willpower, your strength of purpose, your sense of conviction that is going to drive a situation forward for you this month. And the opportunity to exploit the current situation for you will never be better. This is the moment to strike if you're trying to do something. Some of you are moving on. You've been in situations where you've been trying to be all things to all people. And you're going to find it difficult to be your truest self because there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of activity swirling around you. But this is the moment in time for you to act. It's time for you to start walking the walk. Stop planning, stop thinking, stop talking. This is the moment of doing. Some of you, you're coming up with some fantastic ideas. You're on point. There's some mental brilliance taking place. You've got some fantastic ideas you're motivated, you're excited, you're passionate about those, and you want to move them forward. Now, some of you, because this is about contracts, agreements, deals, you may be involved with somebody who's giving you some advice. Maybe it's a business person, and you're carefully considering all sides of a situation. Maybe, somebody is having to make the final decision about something you're involved with, or maybe you're working with a decision maker because that's what they do. Maybe it's a judge, maybe it's an advisor, a consultant, somebody that holds a position of authority. And this is somebody possibly that has the power to change the course of other people's lives. All right, Taurus, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know with your kind comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great month, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.